Who am I? This is a prominent question that plays a role in not only our own lives, but in the lives of characters in this movie. One character that specifically deals with this question is Coach Herb Brooks. Coach Brooks is portrayed as a tough man with a soft spot for hockey. He's hard on his team because he knows it's the only way he can get them to work together. When the hockey team is first put together, Brooks assigns a test for each athlete. One player, Jim, decides not to take the test. Brooks later confronts Jim about his actions. Instead of disciplining Jim for disobeying his own coach, Brooks smiles because he knows he has found a goalie that is stubborn and won't give up. Herb Brooks doesn't just look at the skills of each team member, but the identity and personality that each athlete has when considering who will make it on the team. Jim's actions prove that he is his own person, and that is exactly what Coach Brooks wants. Coach Brooks is not a man of many words, but the words that he does use are powerful and meaningful, and they reflect how much he values the gift of speech. On page 21 of Schultz, the gift of speech is defined as to be used to encourage others, to build up others, and to point others to God. Brooks uses the first two of these in his speech to Jim. He uses his gift of speech to encourage Jim to play his own way and stay true to himself, even when he feels like giving up. Later in the season, Coach Brooks helps Jim stay true to his identity by encouraging him, which allows him to play his best against the Soviets in the big final game. Aside from helping Jim stay true to his identity in the team, Coach Brooks doesn't have many emotional moments. As stated before, he's not a very emotional man. One New York review of this movie says, quote, "The actor plays Brooks as a man who refuses to waste emotion," end quote. This lack of emotion plays a key role in many dialogues Coach Brooks has with other characters in this movie. This character trait is specifically noticeable when his wife confronts him about prioritizing hockey over his own family. Without showing much emotion, the audience can see how Coach Brooks critically analyzes the situation. Instead of reevaluating his own priorities, Coach Brooks tries to make amends with his wife through persuasive language. During this speech, he demonstrates the three important purposes of theatric: inform, persuade, and please. This can be found on page 23 of Schultz's book. These are the three main purposes of theatric. He uses each of these to try and convince his wife why he should continue to prioritize hockey over his family. He tries to inform his wife as to why he needs to help with the hockey team, because they won't win without Coach giving the team 100% of his attention. He tries to please her by complimenting her on how well she has done taking care of the home while he has been gone. But his main purpose of theatric is to persuade in this case, which he eventually does, to continue prioritizing hockey over his own family. He eventually convinces his wife, and this is a masterful argument, skillfully demonstrates a combination of the three main purposes of theatric. However, even with his stoic personality and skillful argumentative style, Coach Brooks seems to fall under the broad category of stereotypical coaches found within film. His character is rather simplistic once broken down. He's the average coach in every movie who's tough on his team so they can become a better team. He has a hard past, and he's trying to relive his glory days by helping his team succeed. He doesn't mess around, and he knows what he wants. After seeing the movie, many people may say that he is a deep character. However, if you take those traits I just listed, being tough, hard past, glory days, you could really slap those on into almost any character in film. He is definitely a stereotypical coach character. However, he is used masterfully in the plot to further boost the characters to winning against the Soviets. Although this is a heartwarming story, Coach Brooks seems too stereotypical to be considered anything more than simplistic.